Hi everyone, welcome to the last episode of the fourth season of Investigative Selfism, a season that has been very sporadic in terms of how often I've been recording, in what formats, is it just audio, is it video, and even the topics themselves, I understand, so thank you so much for sticking with me, thank you so much for your time and your attention. And just like I didn't expect this season to be so heavily focused on what stemmed from a new genocide taking place in this world. Just like I didn't expect that this is what I'd be talking about. And I mean, I've been talking about what's happening in Palestine in my political project, The Exploding Head, which is mostly in politics. And this one, Investigative Selfism, is not so much on politics. But then, hey, many things are political in the end. And so I really didn't expect to be talking about what I've been talking about in this season. I didn't expect how I would close it. And not to create any suspense, because I don't know even if that'll work. But the topic of this last episode is actually very simple. It's a very simple concept, I think. And just like many of my episodes, it's a reminder. It's a reminder and an invitation to reflect on something and to see what's needed, how to reframe, what to think about, what to consider, what not to forget, what to work with within yourself to lead a life that's healthier. I don't want to say necessarily easier, because sometimes what's healthy is not easy, but just how to navigate certain things in life. And the question that I've been asking myself, and I will frame it now in the format that this season pretended to take, and that's in the question or in a statement of let's get real about something, right? So today I want to talk about, or to encourage you to get real about what you carry. To be honest with yourself, to get real with yourself about what is it that's on your mind, what is it that's on your heart, and can you make more space for the new things that are coming into your life, no matter what they are. And like a small disclaimer, I would say that I'm not saying yes, accept your shitty habits, even though habits are by default something we can change. Or like, yes, accept your, I don't know, a bundle of personality traits that we know that we develop as some kind of like a mechanism, as a defense mechanism. We develop various things as mechanisms to protect us when we are younger. But then those mechanisms, they shouldn't be necessarily conflated with what we call these days now a personality, right? So there are many things that we actually don't have to necessarily make space for. We should deconstruct, we should question. But there are also things that we are carrying and that we might be carrying for some time. And I will give a personal example, a recent example, not going to be shocking, but I was thinking how since, some months ago now, what seemed to be maybe like an acute thing, something that would maybe only last for a shorter time, and this, like shock to my nervous system of just witnessing mass murder every day, I realized that, oh, okay, so it's been months now. In my case, like witnessing, bearing witness, but also writing, recording, like speaking out about, going to events, organizing events about what's happening in Gaza. And if I'm getting real about what I'm carrying, suddenly, and this is coming from a very privileged position, I know that there are some people who are very dear to me, and I still have them in my life. I am very lucky. I am very happy that that's the case. And I know that there are some tragedies awaiting in my life, but they haven't happened yet. So I know that, that's the context, right? That's also context. But for other reasons, now I'm like, okay, so there is much more sorrow and sadness and grief, anger, healthy anger, and rage, and just a bundle of things. Like they are all part of my life. And they are there for actually very good, important, meaningful to me reasons. And I'm not going to push them down. I'm not going to deny that they're not there. And they also don't deny the existence of other things that, like, that, for example, there's still a lot of joy in my life, that I'm grateful for so many things, that I am creating a lot of meaningful experiences for myself in my life, that I am contributing some really cool things in my career also. But all of them, it's this and that, right? I choose to carry all of them. And once again, there are things that I've said multiple times to myself and to the people close to me that, oh, there are some things I'm not going to carry. I'm not going to carry some horrible cultural tendencies that I'm seeing around, or I'm not going to carry some patterns that, like, my sister and I have been deconstructing, like what's pretty fucked up in our family. I'm very conscious. I will put efforts not to continue that. Like, there are plenty of things that I'm learning and I'm putting them down. These are not my rocks to carry. Like, that's it. But then there are things that come at the cost, right? And I know so many people who've been carrying so much, people who have so much empathy and care and just this love in the end for the world, and they carry a lot of sorrow. And they accept that that's the price. They accept that that's the price of caring. So for me, this concept of, yes, you choose something to care about, and then you know what, you might be carrying something heavy because of that. But to choose not to care also has a price. And especially for me, certain things, certain regions, certain issues, let's say, if I have a personal connection, it would be very weird not to care. And I would be putting a lot of effort to lie to myself on a daily basis. But then also one thing that I wanted to share with you is, as I realized that, oh, okay, so I'm carrying all these other things that I wasn't carrying too much of before. So what do I have to do? What do I have to do? Like, is there some practice? Like, what's, like, what does it mean? And I was saying to myself that obviously don't push anything down. Like, this is, how you're feeling. These are actually, if anything, healthy emotions. These are only healthy. And you have to find healthy ways to express them. Hey, ways to self-soothe, movement, talking to people, crying, doing something creative, like, you know what works. There are actually, right, like, there are practical things that are amazing to know when what we carry is a lot. And this is what I've been talking about for my whole season, right? Everything I'm mentioning now, I have been mentioning throughout the majority of the episodes of the season. But one thing I haven't actually mentioned. So, in addition to asking these a bit more pragmatic questions, I was also thinking, and it's a very, might sound cheesy, and I'm fine with that. But I told myself, I said, okay, so you are carrying a bit more these days. Like, what is needed in addition to the things that work according to what works, like neurobiologically? So once again, movement, crying, talking to people, doing something creative. But is there something else? And I made this distinction for myself. Talk about metaphors or like imagining how you're feeling, just like some kind of like imaginative exercise, that there's a lot of sorrow, there's a lot of grief, a lot of sadness, in addition to other things, but they are not shattering my heart. Imagine, take some kind of a heart-shaped, glass, and you like die, and you throw it on the floor and you break it. Like, the heart is not being shattered. The heart is expanding. It's expanding, or it's opening up. So imagine some kind of a heart-shaped box, but it's opening like on top. So like the top part of the heart is kind of like you can open it somehow. It's a weird thing, I understand. And I would just sit. I still do that. I would just sit, and I would think, you have to make space. You have to make space. It's opening, like the top of that, heart-shaped box or whatever. It's opening, and allow it to open. And it's not like to make space by throwing other things out, even though, yes, many things have become more trivial, definitely. But it's about opening, right? No one's shattering your heart. But can you open it? Can you expand it? Like, can you maybe, I don't know, put your hands on your chest and tell yourself that, okay, it is, it contains a lot. And just can you soften and allow that space to expand, to accommodate more things. I realize as I'm recording this that you can just listen to some like nice Buddhist psychology talks and you will hear something like this. And I'm, a big fan of Buddhist psychology talks, so I'm very likely referencing just something I've heard. It's not a new concept, neither is this somehow actually very creative, but this is what I wanted to share with you. Because whatever it is for you, if you feel like, there are more things you have to carry, and some things, like, they're so important that you choose to carry them, right? They're not some horrible things you're dragging from your childhood. They're not some things that you could really unlearn, but you choose not to. I mean, probably, we all have those too. Yes. But some things are like, oh, okay, this, like, it really makes sense that it's there. So, can we make space for those things? Can we have the self-compassion? Can we have the patience? Can we maybe engage in some practices of solitude when we literally just slow down and allow ourselves to feel what we feel and to say that this too is a part of life, even though it sucks a lot? Can we really carry it and carry with grace, self-compassion, and love, really? I guess in the end, we have to hold it with love. And that is not a bad message to end my episode with, and even the whole season. I want to thank you for staying human. Thank you for staying curious, for not losing that investigative selfism. Hey. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here, and I will see you soon.